Every day, founders break their backs chasing capital, only to find it comes with cages no one warned them about. Investors sit at polished tables, pitching profits, drowning out the pulse of real innovation. Leaders, no matter how hard they push, feel boxed in by systems that weren't built for change. They feed on sameness, on comfort, on control. This isn't just a story about money or deals. It's a deep wound, an aching loneliness that no spreadsheet can fix. Because things that matter, the spark of a crazy idea, the magic of genuine connection, the wild courage to be different, those get pushed to the sidelines. Why? Because the gears of the current system run on predictability, on lowering risks, on owning outcomes. They don't run on humans. But what if that could change? What if family offices, the quiet giants sitting on wealth, influence, and time, could flip the whole game around? Not just another source of dry capital, but a powerful force bringing human back to venture. Not funding startups like checklist items, but fueling the people who dare to rewrite reality. The misunderstood rebels, the radical dreamers, the founders burning to create not just profits, but meaning. Think about the pressure crushing every founder's chest. Prove your worth in markets that reward the risk-averse, answer to investors who only want control, fight on fronts that leave no room for real human growth. It's exhausting. It's heartbreaking. Most get chewed up trying to fit molds made for another era. Everyone talks about innovation, but few actually cultivate it where it matters, in the messy, human heart of creation. Family offices could be the ones to rewrite these rules, not to manage wealth like a factory, but to ignite souls, to ally with those who refuse to settle. Because here's the brutal truth. The system around venture is broken at its core. It's lost the people part. It worships efficiency, it kills mystery, it's obsessed with numbers but deaf to stories. Yet, the greatest breakthroughs, the kind that reshape worlds, they don't come from spreadsheets. They come from humans unafraid to break every rule, to dance with uncertainty, to build something no one has ever seen before. Family offices could be the vault where this human spirit thrives, not chained by quarterly returns, but set free by a long game vision, by patience no quick fix investor could ever have. Picture a family office that doesn't just sit on capital, but breathes life into ventures. One that understands that backing a founder isn't about contracts, it's about trust, about fierce loyalty to a shared journey of becoming. That sees the founder not as a CEO, but as a whole wild human with dreams, flaws, fires. Imagine those offices breaking away from the cold spreadsheets and becoming incubators of courage. Spaces where founders don't hide their doubts, but share their fears. Where challenge sparks growth instead of control. Where the power of alignment between vision, values, and human chemistry beats the hollow promises of metrics alone. Most massive funds don't have that patience. They want quick wins, tidy exits, repeating cycles that mask true risk. But family offices, their advantage is time. They can play the long game. They can weather storms without bleeding founders dry. They can take bets not on the obvious, but on the overlooked, the misunderstood, the raw talent so many pass over because it doesn't fit the mold yet. This makes them the secret weapon to reclaim venture as something deeply human, to stop the endless cycles of burnout and mediocrity. We all know the pain. Founders pushed to fake their success, investors drowning in endless noise, innovation becoming a buzzword drained of courage. It leaves everyone tired, broken, craving connection that feels real, meaningful. Yet these broken parts yearn to be whole again, and family offices hold the key. But only if they dare to listen beyond balance sheets. Only if they reject chasing safety at the cost of soul. Only if they step boldly into the role of partners for the rare few who are done with waiting and ready to burn bright no matter the heat. Imagine a new alliance where families don't just preserve wealth, they ignite it with vitality. Money flows not just to maximize wealth, but to maximize impact, meaning humanity, where investment decisions come from intuition sharpened by experience, not just data models, where founders, investors, and visionaries intertwine into a web so strong no obstacle can tear it apart. That's the future whispering to those who refuse to settle for the fake comfort of incremental gains, where the courage of one sparks the fire in many, where misfits find belonging not by losing themselves but by standing unflinching in their truth. This isn't charity. This is a radical reimagining of power. It's refusing to buy the lies the world tells, that freedom is obeying rules, that progress is incremental, that comfort beats transformation. This is about wielding independence like a blade, slicing through illusions, redefining what's possible. Because no one else gives the rare, the radical, the unrealized space to spread their wings. Family offices can become sanctuaries to the exceptional, turning isolation into synergy, loneliness into deep alliance. But it takes guts. It takes a willingness to question everything that's been sold as truth, to burn what no longer serves, even if it's comfortable, to choose transformation over consensus, bravery over safety, to be not a ruler, but a midwife of the new, birthing ventures where vibrant humanity is front and center, because only then can capital be something that enlarges the soul, not shrinks it. For founders, this means stepping into relationships where you are truly seen, not just as a business, but as a person worth fighting for. For investors, it means looking beyond risk to potential, beyond profit to legacy. For leaders, it means forging paths not just to success, but to awakening. This is the promise of family offices becoming more than investors. They become champions, enabling an ecosystem where human comes first, where venture is no longer a cold transaction, but a living, breathing force of change. The world is ready, hungry for this rebirth. Not all family offices will hear the call. Not all founders will dare to answer it. But for those who do, this is nothing less than a movement back to what matters. Back to human, back to trust, back to deep, unshakable belief that the most valuable capital is not money, but the fire inside each person willing to burn. So yes, family offices can make venture human again, but not by playing the same game differently, by rewriting the game entirely, making it a place where humans are honored over metrics, where relationships are currencies, where patience cultivates greatness. This is a chance to lead, not by following trends, but by igniting revolutions of becoming. To build a network so fierce, so alive, it can't be ignored or contained. To become the home for those rare souls who refuse to live borrowed lives, who would rather burn than bend. It's time to shed illusions, reject convenience, and embrace the wild unknown. To see founders not as assets, but allies on a shared quest to reshape reality. To understand that real liberation doesn't come from ease, but from owning every moment with fire and freedom. Family offices have the power to unlock this world. To be the bridge from broken systems to a future where venture is raw, real, and deeply human. To prove that in a world addicted to control, liberation is the ultimate profit. The question isn't if they can. The question is if they will. If they will reject the comfort of safety and step into the wildness of true impact. If they will build spaces where the rare, those few who dare to burn bright, can find each other, align, and set the world on fire. If they will become the lifeline for the misunderstood, the sanctuary for the radical, the engine for the unrealized. Because what's at stake isn't just investment returns. It's the future of what it means to create, to lead, to live. The chance to break chains invisible but deadly to the human spirit. The chance to fuel not just ventures, but the becoming of new humans who will remake this world. Family offices are more than a source of capital. They are the last hope that venture wakes up to what it was meant to be, human, wild, unstoppable. Will they rise? Will they become what the system forgot? The answer is already echoing in the hearts of those few who refuse to be small, who choose fire over conformity, who demand more, not just from life, but from themselves and everyone around them, because the only way forward is through becoming truly free, becoming fiercely human. And family offices, they hold the key to unlocking that door. This moment calls for boldness. It calls for rebellion. It calls for love, the relentless, raw love for potential, for chaos, for the messy beauty of human ambition. Family offices, this is your time to stop managing wealth and start transforming worlds. Not by chance, but by choice. Not by default, but by design. The world waits for those who dare to burn. Will you be one of them?